Okay, think about the last time someone made a mistake that really affected you. What was your first thought about them? Now, think about the last time you made that same kind of mistake. See the difference in the stories you tell. We all do this. We live with this little double standard. And today, we're going to give it a name and figure out why it's such a default for our brains. Here it is. This is the pattern we all fall into, right? When somebody else messes up, our brain just instantly jumps to a conclusion about their character. They're incompetent. They're just lazy. But when it's us, oh, suddenly we're experts in all the situational factors. It was a bad day. The instructions weren't clear. Traffic was a nightmare. Sound familiar? So let's start right there with this tale of two judgments. We're going to explore this really consistent double standard we have for explaining the exact same behavior. And this gets us right to the heart of it. It's the same mistake. So why on earth do we invent two completely different stories to explain it? Well, turns out this isn't just some random quirk of human nature. It's a really well-documented mental shortcut, and it has a name: the Fundamental Attribution Error. And just giving it a name is the first real step to getting a handle on it. To put it simply, it's our brain's powerful, almost automatic tendency to believe that what other people do is a reflection of who they are. But what we do, oh, that's just a reflection of our situation. So for them, it's all about their character. But for us, it's all about the context. Here's the classic example we've all lived through. Someone cuts you off in traffic. Your immediate reaction? What a reckless jerk, right? But when you're the one who has to merge a little too close, it's a completely different story, isn't it? Whoops, they were in my blind spot. Or, man, I'm really late for this meeting. Same action, totally different narratives. And this thing absolutely thrives in the workplace. A colleague misses a deadline, and boom, they're labeled unreliable. End of story. But when we miss one, oh, we have a whole list of external reasons. The requirements changed last minute, the timeline was impossible, other projects got in the way, suddenly context is everything. And this bias just gets put on steroids in the digital world, because there's almost no context to begin with. We see one angry online comment, and we decide that's the person's entire identity. That's who they are. But our own spicy comments? Well, naturally, those need more context. You got to understand the backstory, right? So why does our brain even take this shortcut? Is it just trying to be mean? No, it's actually all about being efficient. You see, we can see the behavior. We see the car swerve. We see the missed deadline. That's visible data. But what we can't see are the invisible circumstances: the sick kid at home, the confusing instructions, the bad news they just got. So our brain, which is always looking for the fastest explanation, just fills in those gaps with something simple: a personality flaw. It's a super quick judgment, but it's very often dead wrong. And this brings us to the real dangers of misjudgment. Because this little mental shortcut, it's not just a harmless quirk. It has serious, real-world consequences. When we're constantly judging someone's character instead of their context, it just erodes our relationships. It fuels conflict because we stop even trying to understand where they're coming from. This habit reinforces stereotypes, it completely crushes our empathy, and it leads to evaluations that are just, well, deeply unfair, both at work and in our personal lives. The moment we strip away context, any chance of real understanding just vanishes. So, how do we fight back? What do we do? Well, the good news is we're not just stuck with this bias forever. There's a practical toolkit we can use. 4 simple steps to work toward a fairer judgment. The key to this whole thing is to interrupt our automatic judgment. So first, just pause. Ask yourself, what pressures might be at play here that I'm not seeing? Then, step 2, flip the script. If that were me, what would my story be? From there, number 3 is to actively go look for more context instead of just settling for your first impression. And finally, number 4, practice what some people call a charitable interpretation. Just assume there's probably a complex situation going on, not just a simple character flaw. This all really boils down to one powerful idea. Clear thinking begins when we judge actions with context, not with conclusions. It's a huge shift from making a snap judgment about who someone is to just being curious about the situation they're in. So, I'm going to leave you with a challenge. The very next time you feel that flash of judgment, that feeling of certainty about someone's character, just pause and ask yourself, what context, what crucial piece of the story might I be missing here?